So today we are going to talk about the psychological blueprint that every man needs before he transforms. So every transformation begins long before the first workout or the first tracked meal. It begins in the exact moment where you look at your life, your habits, your body, and your pattern, and finally admit that I can't continue like this. And that single moment of truth is the real beginning. Because when you stop negotiating with your weaknesses, you instantly step into a different category of life. The rare category where growth becomes non negotiable and excuses stop having any authority over you. If you're watching this, you're already closer to the man you want to become than you have ever been. Now let's discuss the pointers. Number one is self acceptance. Now, before you begin any transformation, you have to do the hardest thing a man ever does. Accept exactly where you are right now. Not with shame or denial, but a quiet acknowledgement that the man you want to become requires you to let go of the man you have been. And this journey begins when you say that this is my starting point and I'm ready to walk the road that will change me. Accepting where you are is very necessary, and it is actually the first step to begin your transformation and to begin the change. Next part is self accountability. There is no transformation without self accountability, and not any motivational or soft kind of thing, but just an honest masculine responsibility that says that everything in my life is a reflection of my choices and I will no longer deny that. Tracking your meals or staying consistent or following the plan, these are just not mere tasks. These are symbols of self-respect. And a man who has high accountability does not avoid the truth. And he does not outsource his responsibility. In fact, he faces the mirror with honesty and discipline to correct what he sees, no matter how uncomfortable it is. Self accountability is the psychological foundation of a high testosterone man. Taking responsibility before your emotions kick in and taking ownership before any excuses. Accountability also means that every action you are about to take, you are accountable of that, and accepting that all the actions you have done in the past, you are also accountable of that. Even if those are guilty, even if those are good actions, you need to be accountable of wherever you are. Next part is zero blame, zero excuses, and zero victimhood. If there is one thing that destroys a man's strength faster than poor habit, is the habit of blame. Blaming the job, blaming the coach, blaming the family, blaming stress, genetics. These are just escape routes of men who refuse to take or who refuse to rise to the level that life demands of them. And psychology is also very clear on this, that men who chronically keep on blaming others have lower self-resilience, lower self-control, and also, yes, lower testosterone. Yes, lower testosterone is also linked with a lot of blaming and victimhood. So blaming is actually behavior of a man who surrenders his power. So from today, I want you to eliminate that blame word from your vocabulary. So take ownership of your decisions, your energy, your discipline, and your results. And this is how you gain authority over your life, by refusing to hand authority to anybody else. So from today itself, stop blaming anything else, be it anyone, your job, your stress, your family, genetics, anything, and take accountability of everything. Next is identity shift. This is very, very, very crazy. See, every person and every man out there has two voices. One is a heroic voice and the one is a weak voice. If you haven't transformed, there is a weak voice that has been shaped by years of compromise, and we need to change that. So transformation happens when you stop giving power to the weakened voice and begin feeding the heroic voice. Now remember that the hero identity is not about perfection. It is about alignment. Acting every day like the man you truly want to become. So waking up each morning and consciously choosing the identity you want to inhabit. and every morning saying this to yourself that I am hero of my life and I will act accordingly today. I'll actually give you one example that I did long back. Now I'll give you one example that you can do that I have done in the past as well while I was learning psychology. I'm actually very much inspired by people who play sports, like people like Virat Kohli, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Sachin Tendulkar, Conor McGregor, Mike Tyson, these sort of men. And I always used to listen to them on podcast or anything, and I could sense a big, huge aura around them, right? And you can feel it too, and that is why a lot of people actually follow them. Now, when you watch their podcast, or even if you watch their clips walking to the airport or anything, you will see that they have a personality. As soon as the camera is on them, as soon as the light flashes, they completely change. I'm not saying they are not like that in the real person, but they are a little dim in the real person if you watch them, or if you have stayed with them, or probably if you have met them. But as soon as the camera light flashes, they are a very different person. They walk like they own the room, they walk like they own the world and everything. So remember that what you can do is, from tomorrow, just imagine that you wake up and there is a camera that is recording you 24/7, 365. Imagine that life. You look at a hero acting on screen. What do you see? Do you see him watching porn, jerking off and just sleeping and doing a mediocre job? No. You will see the hero saving lives, saving the heroine, fighting villains and fighting, the bad guys. And you will see them that they are doing something good. So act like that. From tomorrow, start acting like you have a camera. Walk like that somebody is recording you. Act like somebody is recording you. And slowly you will build that aura around you. So this is what identity shift does to you. Probably try it from tomorrow and let me know how you feel. Drop me a text on Instagram how you feel about it. I will definitely like to see if it helps you. The next point is that accepting low days. Now there will be days where your energy drops, your mood dips, and your motivation kind of disappears. And low days are not failures. It happens with everyone. It happens with me as well. They are actually necessary environments in which discipline is tested and masculinity is fortified. The solution is not to just avoid it or resist the emotion or to shame yourself or feel guilty over it for feeling it. But the solution is to acknowledge it, probably journal it, and then move forward with minimum actions required. Consistency is actually built on low days, because how you act on low days actually defines your character. Everybody can do well on good days, on your best days, but how you act on days where you are feeling low defines a man. And the man who can act without the emotional push is the man who transforms faster than anyone else. Next part is, if in case you have a coach or a person who's helping you, it can be from your family or it can be anyone you look up to. Remember that a true coach is not someone you are just reporting to. He's someone who can see your blind spots long before you do. So stop treating your coach or any person who's helping you like a cheerleader, that they should motivate you and then you will do XYZ, whatever you have to do. So don't do that. Treat them like a strategic weapon. See, if you are looking to transform, remember that transformation requires transparency. It requires vulnerability without weakness. And the ability to say that, coach, here is where I am slipping, here is where I am messing up, and I want you to help me in this. Using your coach effectively is not dependence, it is a strategic execution. It is how serious men actually accelerate growth. It is great that you have a person. Sometimes you might not, but it is excellent if you have a person. So do not treat him like a cheerleader. Make sure that you're using the coach in the right manner. Nobody is going to motivate you out of your bed, right? Hope that makes sense. Now I'll talk about the reasons why a lot of men actually struggle before a transformation. And before you start to transform or walk this path, you must confront some psychological traps that keep men stuck for years. And these are the psychological traps that I want to discuss with you. First is the all or nothing illusion. Now, most men collapse under the pressure of perfection. And this is something that I've done in the past too. I will wait for the perfect season for me to start my transformation. And this was one of the stupidest thing I have done in the past. Chasing perfection. You cannot be perfect. Nobody is perfect. Everybody has flaws. And you cannot chase perfection. Starting from Monday, starting after marriage, starting after birthday, starting from the next month, or starting after my brother's marriage. These are all stupid things. You cannot ever start from an X date. You have to start from tomorrow. If you're watching this video, you have to start your transformation from tomorrow. There is no next Monday, next Thursday. If you have the mindset of delaying stuff, you will fail. This is something that I have changed, that has helped me to stay in shape year round, that has helped my business to grow year round, that has helped my personal life to grow year round as well. So don't chase perfection. Apart from this, also I've seen a lot of people who destroy themselves by doing one mistake. For example, if they have a single bad meal, they'll completely mess up all the meals. If they miss a workout in a week, they'll stop working out for the next week or something like that, and they treat themselves as complete failures. Don't do that. Transformation is built on recovery, not just 100% execution or perfection. And the main thing is not about doing everything in a perfect manner. The main thing is that how quickly you can reset. And the man who learns to reset quickly becomes unstoppable. For example, tomorrow I have a wedding. I'll probably go out, enjoy, dance. But the point that I am able to stay in shape year round is because day after tomorrow, I'll be back at the gym. I'll be back with my meals. So I reset very quickly. Now, how quickly you can reset actually defines how good your transformation will be. So remember to start tomorrow, and remember to not mess up everything just because of one small mistake. Next is avoiding reality. I have seen a lot of men just avoid mirrors, photos, and numbers not out of ignorance, but out of fear. I'll not check my weight. It's not going to decrease your fat in the body. So don't do that. The act of facing reality visually, emotionally, and numerically is the catalyst for genuine change. So remember that the truth is uncomfortable, but discomfort is what pushes a man into evolution. Accept the reality and move forward. Do not just avoid it in ignorance. Third is the myth of being too busy. I'll not start it because I am too busy. The busyness is often a mask for disorder and distraction. And if you are telling yourself that you are busy, you are not busy or overworked, you are just overstimulated. And when you begin to structure your time with intention, you suddenly discover that you have hours where you simply were not using them as a man you aspire to be. You will watch Netflix, you will have the time to chat or scroll Instagram, but you will not have the time to give yourself 30 minutes to probably read something nice or train at the gym. So do not act like you are too busy. You are not. Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, or Jeff Bezos, they have the time to train for hours. Mark Zuckerberg is actually learning BJJ. He's a super professional there, and he's doing very well. He's not somebody who just trains once a week. He's training every single day. He's doing it while having a global billion-dollar business. Remember that. So you're probably not busier than Mark Zuckerberg. So start working and start the transformation ASAP. Fourth point is the addiction to comfort. Now, most men want transformation, but they do not want to do it because of the friction associated with it. And if you are in the comfort zone, you will never change. You need to get out of the comfort zone to change. True growth requires shedding comfort like old skin and stepping into the discomfort that builds psychological and physical resilience. So get out of the comfort zone if you want to transform. Fifth is emotional fragility. Remember, if you have emotional fragility, you will start the blame game, and blame is the refuge of men who cannot face their reflection. It will weaken your discipline, self-respect, and slowly drain your masculinity. So if you want to become a man who's powerful, the moment you will stop pointing fingers on everybody and everyone, and you start taking responsibility for every aspect of your life, is the time you will change. Sixth is waiting for motivation. This is something that is very common thing, especially with people who inquire for my coaching, that I am not feeling that motivated right now, I'll do it next month. They never do it. Even I have taken follow for like 1 year, after 2 years, they still don't do it because motivation is fleeting and unreliable. If your progress actually depends on how do you feel, you will remain inconsistent forever. Your standards should dictate your actions, not your emotions. If you are a person who has everything, who is over emotional, you're not going to do anything. You will fuck up your business, you'll fuck up your health, you'll fuck up your transformation, you'll fuck up even your relationship as well. So do not be over emotional. Men shouldn't be over emotional. And always remember that you have certain standards that you have to match, and work on it. Next part is the lone wolf mentality. Now, doing everything alone may feel very noble and may feel that you can do it, but it often stems from insecurity. Growth accelerates when you're guided by someone who has walked the path and can help you or steer you away from the blind spots that sabotage most men. If you're a person who has the resources, probably to hire a coach or probably to learn from somebody, then have somebody. Do not waste your time just by doing it all alone, because you probably will never ever be able to transform. See, if you're young, if you do not have the money, I get it, completely okay, and you should never ever waste your money then. But in case if you have the resources, have people have people to steer you to the right spot. For example, a few weeks back, I was struggling with something on my Meta account, and I was trying to do it myself. I tried for a couple of days, but I realized that I'm just wasting time. It will probably take me 10-15 days or maybe more than that just to get it fixed. But if I hire somebody who can actually fix it within a day, that will be good. If I have the resources, I have the money to pay someone, and that person can help me sort it super quick, then why not? And that is where I also took help from a company, and they helped me sort it within a couple of days. So I would have probably wasted 10-20 days, and that would have also slowed my business, but I actually got it fixed in just a couple of days, helped my business. And this also helped me learn multiple points regarding my Meta account from the same company. And again, we are working for very long term. So this actually happens too, that if you're taking help from somebody who's a master in that field, it saves your time, saves your money in the long run as well, and actually helps you grow more. Now, if you're someone who wants to step into the 1% club, remember that this coaching is not simply about fat loss or muscle gain, or my coaching is just not related to one aspect. It is about reclaiming your identity as a disciplined, powerful, grounded man who holds himself to a higher standard than the world expects from him. So from this moment on, if you want to join, remember these points: that you will no longer operate from excuses. You will no longer participate in blame. You will no longer negotiate your standards with your emotions. You rise every single day. You act with intention every single day, and you carry yourself with dignity of a man who knows who he is becoming. And your transformation doesn't start when everything is perfect. It starts right now in the presence of every flaw you are willing to confront and overcome. So if you are ready, just DM me the word "go" on Instagram, and we can chat there. Apart from that, welcome to the 1% Testosterone Coaching. Your new identity begins here.